When I was living in Mexico City, I got a eye infection in both my eyes. So I went to the doctor, and they had to do something to my eyes. So they put some chemicals or some medicine in my eyes, so I was not able to see. Uh, I asked one of my classmates to take me there to the doctor, but I didn't know that I would become blind for a couple of days. So I told him, "Can you go with me?" And he said yes. But then after we finished with the treatment, I was not able to see anymore. So I had to trust this guy, and it was difficult to trust him because this guy, he was always joking around. He was always mischieving and laughing the whole time. So he said, "Okay, Sammy, now you're going to pay back." I was like, wow, what he's going to do. So he started guiding me. Then when he started guiding me, a couple of times he would start laughing. And he would start laughing. When he started laughing, I didn't want to obey what he was telling me where to go. I was like, no, I don't want to obey. I want to listen to you. So he said, let's go on this way. What he did, he was trying to guide me to that way, and I went to the opposite side. So because I went to the opposite side, I failed. And a couple times happened to me because I didn't trust him. Why? Because he was laughing. Like, how can I trust to this guy? He just laughing at me. So it was so hard for me to trust. So I didn't want to follow his commandment. I didn't want to follow him, but I have no choice. So I had to do it. But then I started realizing, first, the beauty or the gift that we have, our eyes. After I went back to the doctor and they removed that, I was feeling completely different. I was so appreciative because of the gift that we have, because what has given us. After that, it was 2 days, and after that, I started seeing things differently. I remember living in Mexico City. Some of you have been there. Some of you are there from there too, to Mexico City. In Mexico City, there's people everywhere. Wherever you go, you will find people. Wherever you go. And I have a lot of smoke and then a lot of traffic. But even though it's a lot of people there, they have parks and they have beautiful gardens. In the area that I was living south of the city, they have a beautiful park. I remember driving back to the house, and I stopped at the park, and I just sat down and realized, and I started seeing the beauty. And I started seeing the flowers, and I started seeing, all the beautiful things that God has given us. That before, I never had done it. Before, I just saw the flowers, they look good. They look beautiful. Or I saw the park, and it looks so beautiful. But then that particular day, I just sat down, and I started getting the flowers, and I started looking at the flowers, and I saw the colors so perfect, and the perfect shape. I was like, and I started realizing the beauty of God through nature. I started realizing the beauty of God and what He has given us through the nature. And then I started realizing too God has given me the gift to be able to see. So it was a beautiful moment for me to learn and to experience God's goodness and appreciation to God. But then I started realizing too how many people out there, they are blind. I remember one time driving in a subway, there was a blind guy by himself, with a little stick and just walking. And he was like very confident. I was like, how he can do that? How he can trust in himself? So I approached him and asked him, how you can do that? Because for 2 days I was blind, and I was almost thinking that I will become blind forever. I was like, what am I going to do in my life? I was so afraid. However, this guy, when I was talking to him, he said, I was born like that. So perhaps it was easier for me to do this because, you develop different sense that we are able to hear better and to be more sensitive. But then you learn how to trust in yourself and to walk freely. But he said, somebody else taught me how to do. And then I asked him, who taught you how to do this? And then he said, another blind man. So when I was reading about the gospel, how can a blind man guide another blind man? How they can do it? Because they learn to listen. They learn to listen and to obey and to trust. And perhaps it's one of the things Jesus is inviting us to reflect today and to think about it, to be able to learn how to listen and to trust and to obey. Sometimes we had difficulty doing that. I remember as a teenager, some of you guys, teenagers, they have experienced that, or some of you, you were teenagers, you experienced that too. When you get in trouble, instead of talking to your parents, you will go and talk to whom? To your friends. Supposed to be your friends. You will start talking to them. Sometimes many of their friends, they will say to us, oh, your dad is old. You know, they are old at school. They don't pay attention. They don't understand us. So our friends, they are telling us, don't listen to them because they don't know. The fact is, they know because maybe they have done it before. Through the experience, they learn and be able to say, don't do that anymore because I have been there before. So our mistakes is that sometimes we don't listen to our parents, we listen to our friends, and then we'll get in trouble. Why? Because we don't trust in our parents. The same way with God. God is inviting us to, always telling us, don't do this because you will get in trouble. Somehow our conscience is talking to us and telling us, don't do that. What we do, we ignore our conscience and we do it in any way, and later on what we say, why I did it, why I didn't stop, why I didn't listen to my parents, why I didn't listen to the Lord, why I just, out of pleasure, I just acted like that. But our conscience was telling us, don't do it. So we ignore that, and it's when we get in trouble. So I do believe Jesus is inviting us to be aware of that, and to be aware and to understand, you know, you want to be perfect, as my Father is calling you to be perfect. It's good to hear, it's good to listen, it's good to obey, and it's good to discern before we act. It's good to discern before we act. You know, some of the cases, I remember a particular family who was telling the daughter, you know, I know you are so in love with this man, but these are some of the issues about him. Just listen. There are many red flags about this man, so please don't get married with him. So what she did, she got married. And then 6 months later, they divorced. So as I say, I can give you many examples like that we have done it as a humans, and we have experienced some pain and suffering. Why? Because we don't listen, because we don't discern, we don't pay attention to what the Lord is inviting us to do. So today, as I said, I just want to encourage you to do that. And I want to encourage you too, to be able to open your eyes and appreciate that. As I said, after being blind for 2 days, after 2 days I couldn't see, I was always, like for 2 days, I was thinking about what I'm going to do if I'm not able to see anymore. What I'm going to do if I'm not capable to do that. So I was so afraid. I was like, okay, God, you have to show me that you love me. Okay, God, you have to show me that you care for me. So therefore, I'm going to be okay. So I was like talking to God the whole time. But then after that, after everything was clear, after everything was good, I started kind of forgetting about God. Why? Because I have everything I wanted. Because I was okay, so I don't pay attention to God anymore. And see, God is inviting us to be aware that He's with us the whole time, so that we can be guided by Him, so that we won't do mistakes, so that we can be happy. We can listen to our parents and obey to them too. So we can understand that God is talking to us through the people, through the gospel, to many different people who are reaching out to us and telling us, don't do that. Why? Because it's personal experience. So today, I just want to invite you, first of all, to appreciate the gift that God has given us about our body. All of us here, we can see, we can walk, we can do a lot of things. And how many times we have said to God, thank you because you give me this body, this perfect body. Thank you because I'm able to see. Thank you because I'm able to walk. Thank you because I can do everything I want. So first of all, as I say, I want you to invite you to appreciate the Lord. Second, to be able to trust. To be able to trust and to be able to say, yes, God, I trust in you. Even though sometimes this road looks a little dark and a little narrow, I want to follow you through this road. Help me to trust in you so I can walk in your path. So I just want to invite you to do that too. And third, I just want to be able to invite you to open your eyes. And what I mean with that, some people are falling asleep right now. No, I'm just kidding. Open your eyes so you can see the needs of others. Many times we are so blessed because we have basically everything we need. And sometimes there are people around us that they have a particular need. Because we don't open our eyes, because we are focusing too much in ourselves, that we don't see the needs of others. We don't see some people, perhaps they are poor, or maybe some people they are suffering, not because of the lack of money, but because of the lack of love, and we don't see that. Many times we don't see that God is in front of us, is telling us how much He loves us, but because we become blind, because we are so upset, because we are so angry with ourselves and with the world, that we don't see that. This is the reason why I want to invite you to open your eyes and see that. Open your eyes and see how God is showing us His love to creation. Open your eyes so you can see and understand that every time you come to Mass, it is Jesus Himself right here and right now who become present. He's telling you, I'm here with you, but I want you to open your eyes and your understanding and your trust. You can see me, so you can see me and you can experience my love. But we have to be able to open our eyes to do that. So as I say today that we are celebrating the Eucharist and Jesus is going to become present through the Eucharist, open your eyes so you can say, thank you, Lord. So you can say, thank you because you gave me too many things. Help me to appreciate that. So I just want to invite you to do that. And this weekend, too, the bishop is inviting us to do the Faith and Works campaign. Every year we do that. The bishop invites us to help the diocese in their needs. Many of the things that we do in our diocese, we have to spend money, like hiring the youth director, people who are working at the tribunal. We have one person that we have to pay at the tribunal. We have to pay the salary. And there are many different things that the diocese needs the money from us. So one of the things that I do at the tribunal, as many of you know, I'm one of the kind of lawyers that I work at the tribunal in order to work with the annulment process. As I'm one of the judges, so we have to go through the process. And we do that for free. In many different dioceses, they charge $1,000 for that process because we have to spend some money doing investigations and things like that. But in our diocese, we don't charge anything to anybody. So it's for free. And we do that because we need your help, because you help us out. So in your pew, there's some envelopes and there's some this piece of paper. So if you can help us out, you can fill it up, you know. There's some ways that you can help us out. You can do a check, or you can use your credit card, or you can transfer directly from your bank to the Diocese of Tulsa. So I will give you maybe like 3 minutes to be able to think about it, to be able to pray and ask the Lord how I can help, if I can help, how I can help the diocese. So just write it down, your information. And then at the moment of collection, we're going to collect these papers. There's an envelope there, so you can put the information in there. And then we're going to collect those papers. So I do believe the bishop appreciate all the help that you can help us, that you can make. I do personally appreciate that because sometimes I do believe some people, they are capable to help, and sometimes you cannot help. But if you cannot help with your money, I will ask you to pray for the diocese and pray for all the people who are working for the diocese so we can be a better stewards of the things that you have given us. And then I wanted to invite you to keep praying for us as a priest. You know, our church right now is suffering because all the problems we have lately. And trust me, it's not pleasant, and sometimes it's kind of difficult for us as a priest. But I just want to invite you to keep praying for us so we can be holy priests. I strongly believe that without you praying for us as a priest, we won't be able to be holy. So I humbly ask you for your prayer so I can, Father Brian Brooks, myself, and the deacons and priests in our diocese, so we can be faithful to the Lord, so can be holy priests. But as I say, we need your help, so just keep praying for us.